From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. They run it again with Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. This offense, Charles, well, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, with something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
This defense for the Bengals, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing now is Murray. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. The Bills send the punter out. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air. And that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here we go. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
11, 90. 11, 11, 11. 11 MT, 11 MT.
Nwangu going to get it on the counter. Oh, he's got some breathing room. take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big score like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On first down, right back to Gibson. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On second down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Here's Murray from midfield. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ballgame. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Left side, Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They try again with Cook. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Tyler Bass out for the Bills field goal. This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. Two division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yep.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big play there for Cincinnati. 67 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here we go.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now a give, running left is Nwangu. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Kene Nwangu with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, no two ways around it. Anytime you get the current number 1 and number 2 seeds in the AFC playing each other this late in the season, it's a big game.
It is definitely a big game, but not just for seeding and placement and such, but for trying to establish yourself as the team to beat. You want everyone else in the league to look at you and say, boy, it's going to be tough to knock those guys off.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu. And down to the 41.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big, big people, because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers, because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient. All his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
11.
Burrow on play action. He finds his man complete. That's Jordan. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Bengals at 12-1 now to start play. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Give left side here for Nwangu. Room here to run. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. 127 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll look to run with Nwangu. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Kene Nwangu on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Meanwhile, Murray's throw here taken in by Knox. Here's Murray. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Slot man moves right. Murray and company going for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Gun.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Straight ahead. Here's nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
On 1, ready?
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long.
11 empty.
Up the middle, Nwangu. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Kene Nwangu on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals are able to add on to their first-half lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the 41, Murray. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. That one almost intercepted, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Now Murray again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. And this is caught on the sideline, and he gets out of bounds as well. How about that?
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there.
And this offense has really just been humming all game long. So to me, they're just saying, we want to finish this one off in the third quarter so we can coast home in the fourth. And this is just a tremendous play, something we've seen time and again from this offense.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On second down, here's Nwangu. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now Murray winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Murray sets to throw on 4th. He finds his man complete. That's Logan. And he is going to have the Bills first down as this defense cannot come up with a play that they need. In fact, they surrender a big chunk. 17 yards there on 4th down. Throwing again, Murray. This pass complete to McLaurin going across the middle. And they're going to get this up to midfield. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he is going to lose yardage here. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
They've got 2nd and 12 from the 36.
11 coming.
Handoff here to Nwangu. And he'll get about 3 out of that, up to the 39-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
11 MT paint. 11 MT paint.
They go play action with Burrow. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Third and goal, Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown.
Kene Nwangu
From 8 yards out.
And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's McPherson now to send it away. Taken in at the 3.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
1st down, Murray. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45.
49 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, 53 yards.
And the Bills are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
They'll go right back to the Wangu.
And he's got some space here. But he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw complete to McBride.
And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Here we go, here we go. 12, 12, 12.
Play action. It's Burrow.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bills are going to get the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And certainly starting to appear that they might finally be about to suffer that first loss of the season. What a heck of a run through 3 months, though, but they trail big here. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. To throw, it's Murray. Open man is Samuel, complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Murray off play action. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he's got it inside the 10. A big play here for Buffalo. 68 yards.
It's so easy to focus on the speed and elusiveness of Kyler Murray, but as he shows right there, don't sleep on the arm strength.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because in the back of the end zone, never let a guy catch one in front of you.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Another run now for Nwangu.
Oh, nice move. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Burrow going for it on fourth. He's going to let it go again. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Throwing on first down is Murray. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Lewis Sheen. And the Bengals will take over here at their own 12-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go.
On the give is Nwangu.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. Something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Finding more on the out route for the completion.
The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll run with Cook. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late fourth quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
11 mighty.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier. He wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
But Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Bengals, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.